Morning, folks. Welcome on into the Challenger Series Swiss stage. Day number 1 here for the APL region. We're going to be starting things off in the North Division. So that is Wonderful, nice little way to enter our morning here. Ose is just going on. Tiaki's just wrapping up over there, and then I'm dragging him over here for a lovely little broadcast of North. Asia will be starting in about an hour's time. Other community streamers will be there as well. So it's a nice little morning of Siege for you. So, you know, sit back, relax, enjoy things how you want to go. Morning, Killer, morning, Mitch. Hope we're all doing well today, ready for another great day of Siege. Last night was pretty quick. We had EML, NAL, and I believe Brazil as well last night. So we had sort of 3 regions of our 4 going head-to-head in their first round of Swiss. It was pretty quick. There are a lot of 2-0s, a lot of snooze fest games, I can't lie. But the good news is we can sit here and hopefully have some good games here in APL before we get some better games in EU later on. APL games are always a lot of fun, so we've got our fingers crossed for this one today. It's going to be quite a nice, chill morning, to be honest with you. It's a nice, slow start to things in terms of the format. If you are just joining us for the first time here in Challenger Series, this is how things work. We've had the open qualifier phase. That has been gone and done now. Any team could sign up. Our top teams from those qualifiers progress onwards to the Swiss stage alongside our invited teams, at which point the top 8 of them go in towards a finals, which I believe has been updated to a double elim bracket now, if I'm not mistaken. It's been changed slightly. That's a double elim bracket now. And then it says top 2, but I believe it's actually top 3 for North. APAC has a couple more teams qualifying out of these regions. So I think OCS has like 3 or 4 teams qualifying out, and North has 3. Most of the other regions will have 2. So it's quite an interesting one. Of course, what is this qualifying for? Well, it's qualifying for Pro League Tier 1 next year. The big games, the big competitions, the ones that you really want to be going and watching and seeing. Hopefully going to have some really, really fun ones kind of going there. And of course, inside of this one, we're going to have some really, really fun games. We are just letting the teams get the map bans go on through. I'm not sure if the Vito's broken or whether it's going to go on through. We had issues yesterday. That Vito was totally corked inside of EML, I believe. I think I might actually still have the picture loaded in here. No, I don't. That's depressing. But we literally had it going bank and back, ban bank, pick bank. Yeah, it wasn't ideal, safe to say, certainly for that one. So we will let it slide. We'll let it go on through. Oh, yes, let's go. We do have some fans in chat, so welcome on in. Everyone from North, everyone from EU. It's always fun doing these community streams because you kind of get that bit of like a merge of like, I'll bring in some people from EU that kind of want to come and watch this stuff first thing in the morning. And then as well, we've got teams that will be, you know, supporting from the home region. It's always really great to see them coming in and lending a hand, lending their team some support, because it's nice to have that kind of competition going in OCE, in other one. That is not the bracket Viking. Let me just grab it for you. That is the EU one. My apologies. Give me 2 seconds. Come bracket. There you go. That is the Challenger Series. So that's the APL bracket, the North Division bracket. So that's the bracket we're going to be following through this morning. In terms of games coming up on through, in terms of what we've had, in terms of who's going to be playing, we've got some fun ones going on through. We've had XE36 and Vitae already win their games out this morning. 2-0, pretty clean sweeps in terms of fashion. And then you're going to have to forgive me here. I'm not going to be able to pronounce all of these team names. We have Team Function, Kyoto, and Laguardia Gaming going head-to-head. Cryptid against, I would not actually be too sure. Let me just translate that one. Translate pretty, please. There's Japan teams, early Korean teams withdrawn out. That's a shame. That's a real shame. Are all Japanese teams then? So yes, we have SOTS and Cryptid going head-to-head with one another. Aegis and Astral, Father's back, and I googled the name earlier. I almost had I had it. It was there. I promise you, it was right there, sitting in front of me. It was yeah, I can't remember. I have it. It's literally loaded in the overlays. It's one of these teams that's sitting right in front of me right now that I loaded in because we might have casted them out, but I can't see it. I'm being stupid. They were there. Okay. Father's back playing their game, and then we've got the game, then we've got Landval Esports versus Ravati, and then we've got the game we're going to be watching today. But first and foremost, we've got Tiaki coming in with the raid. Thank you, brother. Welcome on in everyone from the Oceanic region. Don't worry, we're not taking you away from Tiaki. Tiaki is coming here. He's just grabbing it. He's just grabbing himself a quick break, quick bottle of water, and then I'm dragging him straight back on live to the stream. He's got no choice, no rest whatsoever. Don't like to let our casters rest here in Siege. We work them well. We work them good. So he'll be in here in a couple of minutes. And then, of course, that brings us into the game we've got today. Can you be my enemy versus OCS Hiroshima? It's going to be a really, really fun game between these two sides. And hopefully, we're going to have quite an entertaining game in our hands. As I say, it's the start of Swiss, so it's not do or die yet. We're not in the direness of these kind of end games where it's qualification, elimination on the line. It's just the first day. It's just to get a feeler of how things work. If you don't know how Swiss works, all you need to do is basically win 3 games before you lose 3. It's as straightforward as that. On paper, it's a little more complicated. But the gist, the simplicity of it basically is win 3 games before you lose 3 games. You can start off well today. You've been seeded based on your previous performance, I believe. OCS are one of the invited teams, if I'm not mistaken. No, they're not. No, both these teams are kind of sitting in the middle of the brackets. They both played for open qualifiers. They both kind of had to go through those 4 sets of qualifiers. They've made the cut. They've made the grind. Now, what can they go and do from here in towards the Swiss stage? Over on the side of Can You Be My Enemy, this is the roster that is listed on Challenger Mode. We have JV, Dukov, Nokuro Momo, Shikiko, and Hina. So, it's going to be a nice little roster. And this is my favourite part. New players I've not casted before. I have no expectations on any of these players. I don't know what's coming in front of me. So, chat will hopefully guide me through. We always have a few fans sort of giving me tidbits of lore, tidbits of information. But new players, not seen any of them before. Really hoping they've got something quite fun to show us. And that exact same story is true on the flip side of OCS as well. Sifty, Pico, Mac, Katoria, and Doi going to be our roster on the flip side of things. And hopefully, yet again, it's going to be just a really kind of... I want to see some best of 3 action. I want to see us utilise the fact that we are in that best of 3 format. We're going to have 3 maps coming on through for this one. It's not just a BO1. It's not just going to be that single kind of game action. It's hopefully going to be some really, really good kind of solid siege on through. No, I don't want to open an inbox. I just want to see the chat in full, please. Why is Challenger Mode not working? I do apologise. Challenger Mode is a little bit balked at the moment. And by a little bit, I mean very, very balked. Map bans, I don't believe, are working correctly in terms of what you can, can't pick and ban. So you're having to do it in the map ban, and obviously the teams are not communicating in English, so it's a little difficult. And that's also compounded by the fact that, unlike in EU, where, well, everyone does speak that kind of a different language, everyone speaks using the same alphabet that we do. Not so much the case when you head a transform over to APAC side. So I actually have no clue what these guys are saying to each other right now. I hope Unnamed does. I hope he's got Google Translate or whatever it is at the ready to just try and work out. We'll get the map veto done in due time. Let's see what maps we're going to be go. Oh, we have OS. Yeah, still. Yeah, manually ban. Mitch coming in with the clutch. Mitch, my man, Mitch. Pepsi Max. Not preferred drink of choice. Do prefer peach iced tea myself. But it's gonna be. It's going to just be a fun little morning. I just like a chill morning like this. They're banning maps. I think we've had a bank ban. We've had a lair ban. Come on through for these teams. Then we get to go see what maps we're going to be playing. Who's banning what? Who's picking what? So it should be a nice chill. Have a little vibe. EML last night. You know what? EML was really kind of speedy, actually, EML last night. I can't lie, I was a little bit sad by it. EML was incredibly quick. We had a 2-0. I was watching the Panahone Labors game, and it was 7-2, 7-2. Panahone absolutely smashed through that game. That was speed running to a couple 2. I think we have a replay, actually. This is the replay from like one of the last rounds last night. Like Panahone were just so cool, calm, collected, and composed inside of this one. Do ignore the that doesn't exist. Yeah, Hanabi was so good last night. They were just, even in these like 5v5 late round executes, just look at that. 3 quick kills coming in like that. Sure, Keox does eventually cheek away with 1, but immediately caught there in the trade back. Good crossfires being held. Some beautiful siege, things we really do indeed like to see. So, good stuff in EML. APAC, you've got very high expectations to live up to here, and I'm hoping, even if we don't have maybe the closest games in the world, it's going to be some very, very fun ones regardless. We're just sorting out picks and bans in terms of what we're going with. I think that the order's a little bit confuzzled. We're getting there. We're getting there. Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, because obviously there is stuff on the line, but equally it's just quite fun to sit back and watch the chaos. Basically, Challenger mode is doing the wrong veto order and also letting you double ban and double pick maps for some reason at the moment. So it's supposed to be ban, 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 pick, pick, ban, 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 decider. At the moment, it's lying pick. It's going ban, ban, pick, pick, ban, 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 decider, and it's also letting you repeat maps. So Challenger mode is balked. So it might take us a little longer than usual to get inside of the lobby. Should we do some predictions? Let's do some predictions, shall we? While we've got a few minutes, let's get some predictions running. Who will win map 1? Is it going to be Can You Be My Enemy? Use the abbreviated name. Actually, I can just copy paste the name from the title. And there you go. We'll give you guys 15 minutes because we'll probably have a little while to go till the game starts. So go get your predictions on through. Liam, thank you very much for the raid, man. Welcome on in to the stream. And here we go. Let's bring him onto the show. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one, it's the only when RTC Discord connects. Tiaki, good morning, good sir.
Why am I seeing a gif of you doing the 6-7
you're
meme?
loud, you're loud, you're loud.
Sonic.
What, the 6-7? No, we're not doing 6-7s again?
Wait, fire.
You're lucky you're not on camera. You would be forced right back into it if you were.
I'm glad I'm not on camera, to be honest with you. Mitch, don't clip that.
Clip it, Mitch. Why are we making
How you doing, Travi?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. It's nice and early. It's actually not too early for a change. You know what? It's nice to actually do APAC and not be woken up before 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 10 here.
Oh.
So it's quite nice, actually. I've had a little lay-in. I'm feeling refreshed, not tired. How are you doing? How was OS?
OS was very interesting. Karma versus Gardensvale was quite an interesting match, and it looks like most of the games that have happened this evening kind of gone into the exact way that a lot of people were, I guess, expecting the matches to go as a general whole. But I will say, coming into the games for OS, it can still be a flip-up. This is a Swiss stage, which means teams are not just straight eliminated, which is great to have. So back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We'll keep kicking it on through. And to be honest, Gardensvale actually look like somewhat of a capable team.
Oh, that's good to hear. It's always nice when you get a team come in that you're not expecting to win things out, and then they do. Like last night, because I did email last night, it was pretty much as you would expect it to go. Like, expectations were met. Everyone did what we thought they would do. It was kind of just as it was, really. It was like, we had a lot of quick games. So I think as the Swiss kind of develops and we get the good teams with the good teams, bad teams, that's when things are going to start to get a little bit of fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I also love the fact that, of course, on today, of all days, vetoes have to break for us, don't they?
Oh, they did yesterday.
Absolutely have to break.
We got a little tease of it last night, and it's just one of those unnecessary little things that's happened, and it's just like, man, did that have to happen now?
Yeah, well, I mean, looking at the teams from OS that are currently fighting, Avengers Assemble and Only Mighty Fine Girls, Vision, AU, and BGNS are really the only two teams that are kind of like, okay, there's a fight being put up here. It's 1-to-1. Everyone's kind of on the same ball ground and all that sort of stuff. Whereas the rest of the teams, I'm just seeing 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. So it makes a lot of sense, especially when you see teams like Anos, Circular Beers, Six Targets, Barbie Boys. These are all teams that we've heard plenty of times before. The interesting team to come out today, and I'm hoping to hear that it's going to be a close one. It's probably the closest game in OS that we'll have for a while, is Shy Academy.
Shy Academy, this is the name I know.
Antics.
Antics, okay, yeah. That one being a little bit of a brawl.
It should be a little bit of a brawl game, and essentially a longer game, especially when you look at like Antics lineup, KJ Assassin being in there and a few others. And then on Shy Academy, you've got the opposition of like Shant, Kakin, Arcanium. Those are all Tier 1, if not Tier 1 players. But Antics still has a bit of a team to come up against. So be interesting to see how they go, especially with Swiss Stage. I mean, we're one of the only games now, esports games, that actually has the Swiss Stage. And I'm still seeing that 6-7 meme.
Oh, Mitch.
Bugger off.
Mitch does not relent. There's going to be so many gifts out of that one by the end of this qual. We've already had one. We had one last week. We were doing EML and we had match 67. You know how in Challenger mode it gives them all numbers on the quals. It was pretty rough.
So did they just let both teams through because they don't care about the result?
I think they should have just had it as a meme match, personally. You get 6-7 game, and that's just... You don't have to play Siege. You can just do what you want. We'll just play like Rocket League for a game, and winner takes whatever. I think that's how it should be. This is also probably why we leave the admin into other people. Did you get any Snake this morning? That is my question for you, because obviously we've got the new season on for this one. So all the balancing updates...
We had 2 rounds of Snake.
2 rounds, okay.
One round where he was effective, and a second round where he just was basically shot outside. So Snake definitely looks like one of those operators that once teams begin to understand and really learn how to use the character, he's going to be such a menace for a lot of teams. He gives me old Lion vibes.
He's solid. Pun intended. He's a decent operator. You know, the thing is,
as soon as I heard that,
I actually really love his introduction to the game. He's a lot of fun. We had a bit of him in EML yesterday. Granted, I think at the moment, I didn't really see much out of his gadget. Teams were more using him for the fact that he's got the F2. And of course, that now has a vertical grip on it, so it's much better than it has been the last couple of seasons. So teams really want to use him just for the gun, I think, at the moment. And they're still working out exactly how to get the most out of the gadget.
Yeah, I didn't really see any F2 use during the 2 rounds.
Using DMR?
They were using the DMR.
Oh, okay.
So either uncomfortability with the F2, I'd say, but it does look like a lot of the teams are kind of getting set up for Snake's obvious purpose. In a lot of cases at the moment, when he comes in, he somewhat dismantles a lot of setups that people have made and a lot of strategies that they've set in place. And for most teams, they're going to have to completely rework a lot of their setups from what we've seen them constantly do.
It's going to be a change of pace. And one thing I've wanted to see that I've not seen yet, Flores has an LMG now. I'm still waiting for someone to bring it out.
What?
Like Flores,
he
has the Ying LMG now. You know, like the T95, like that massive one with like 100 bullets in it, that huge thing. He has that now. So I am waiting for someone to bring that out. We had a couple, like people play Flores a lot, but no one's pivoting from what I've seen. Everyone's kind of been playing with the AR or the SMG, the DMR rather. Like they're just playing normal weapons. I'm like, guys, there's fun new tech, there's fun new things. Can we use it, pretty please? Like, it's not going to change the game. It's not going to make him that much better. I don't think it's just a fun little addition that just adds a bit of spice.
Yeah, I'll just quickly go through the patch notes myself.
Yeah. Scopos is
I must have missed a few things, unfortunately.
The Scopos change, that's a fun one.
Yes, good. I'm glad to see it.
Free speed, and she's like, pow, pow.
Yes. So good to see. We've seen a bit of Scopos becoming a bit more impactful recently,
Yeah.
especially in the game. So it's kind of expected for her to come back with the right changes to her,
Right
and they
level
can
of-
be just small changes, like you said, pulling her from a 2-speed to a 3-speed.
She's speedy now. She feels her role better, I think, with that kind of a free speed. I think it was on Twitter, I saw someone propose an interesting change where it was like, why don't we make one of the robots chunky and have it as like a free armor and then the other robot's faster? And I'm like, that's such a clever idea. Like, if she needs any more tweaking after this, I'm just saying, that would be an awesome idea. Have a chunky robot for Sight and then send a speedy one for Rome. That'd be fun. I'd be down for that.
I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you switch, because I haven't confirmed this, and it was coming onto my mind because the amount of times that we saw Scopos in Consulate and Layer.
Yeah.
If you take damage on one of the robots and you make a switch to the other robot, are you back on full HP?
Yeah, so the robots have their individual HP pools. So if one robot gets damaged, that's just exclusive to that one. The only thing that I think they share is secondary utility. So, like, each one doesn't get 2 sets of impact grenades. You only get 1 set of impacts to be used between them. But other than that, I think it's all separate.
Yeah, just a quick, excuse me, equipment.
Quick go through.
I can't speak. I give up. I completely give it up.
Give it up on life.
As well as the fact that ballistic shields can no longer move through barricades. That's huge and slows down potential push plays in an aggressive manner. I wonder if we're going to see a game potentially where the teams just barricade up every single location that they potentially can.
It's because you can't just go through anymore. You've got to punch it down, and that's just time. That's just waste. It's annoying. And I will admit, I forgot they did that, and I was playing games the other night, and I just stood in front of a window for like 5 seconds going, just spamming my spacebar. I'm like, why isn't it jumping? Why aren't I going through the window? And then it's like, yeah, I forgot they did that. Just standing there looking like an absolute tool. You got to punch it out. It's a nice little nerf, I think, because shields are just so speedy at the moment. They're just so, like, vroom, in there, and then they're a problem. So it's nice to just have them be able to be dialed back just that little bit. So if they are going to rush you in the face, it's not going to be an instant thing. You get, like, 5 seconds of warning before you die.
The other thing as well is Amaru's change.
Oh, yeah.
4 to 5 grapples. I don't think that's really going to bring her into the competitive scene.
No.
I think a rework needs to be on the board in terms of what she can potentially use. Maybe add a flashbang to the front of the grapple.
Oh, well, so fire it up.
Flashbang on the way in. That sounds like an interesting idea.
There are ways they could do it. She's just so vulnerable. Like, the only time I ever see having an extra grapple charge be useful is maybe on the consulate window hop-in on the top floor site, where you normally bait it out a few times before sending it. It just gives you 1 extra bait, but equally, meh. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I think you're right on that, Tiaki. And you never know what we could do. We could always have, like, you say, a flashbang that fires through the hatch before it goes. That'd be
a fuse charge on the front of it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what's going to happen. It fires a grenade up and it just bounces back right to where you land. You just throw yourself up into a grenade. You know that's going to happen in this game.
Yeah, sad thing is, I'm pretty sure I'd do that 5 times out of 10.
Yeah, I think that would solidify Amaru as maybe not the best pick in the game. Just a possibility.
Still, a rework necessary, needed, something that would be a little bit interesting. But in saying that, we have a bit of a veto to go over to.
That we most certainly do. Map Veto popping up on the screen for you folks at home. Nighthaven Labs, our first one of choice. We pretty default Veto, I think, looking at this one in terms of map content here. The kind of 3 we've gotten used to seeing quite a lot of in the best of ones. In the open qualifiers now coming through here in the Swiss stage. They're comfortable maps for teams. No surprises. They're going to remain popular here in Swiss. What? You think getting Fortress? You think getting Fortress? Oh. My favourite My favourite region. It's a very nice little common one, and I think it's a good set to just kind of start off our veto, start off Swiss stage more so, especially because it kind of gives us that look into these teams and more so who's doing what sort of thing, how we're going to be looking on through, how these teams sit, because they're both kind of middle of the road teams in terms of seeding. I believe they're 8th and 9th in the seeding before this one overall, so they're quite neck and neck in terms of how they performed in the open quals. So hopefully here, as we go in through towards the actual Swiss stage of the competition, we can get a better idea of who's going to be sitting out on top and who might just be getting their way into the finals. Now, as we head on through in towards the map, we're just getting ready. We've got about 4 minutes. We've been given the word go from the wonderful unnamed gamer, our observer, for this evening, this morning, depending on where you lie inside of the world. So if you're not already, do go give him some love on the Twitter, on the social medias. He's always here, always observing every single region. Poor man was up until, like, I don't even know what time last night doing NAL, and now I've dragged him up first thing in the morning to do some APAC. They finished NAL at about 2:30 last night. And that, considering that was day one, so it was the quick games, the fast games, we've now gone on to the second day where it's speedy. It's going to be longer games, so he's going to be more dragged out and probably suffering a little bit more, bless him. But he's doing a great job of observing, ready to go for this one. Nighthaven Labs, I think we're almost ready to go in. I'm looking in the email channel waiting for a go-ahead, and it's like, wait a minute. We're not in email. We're in APAC. We're in day one of the Swiss stage now. Can you be my enemy versus OCS Hiroshima? It's going to be a very fun little game here. Very nice, interesting one to kick off our Swiss bracket. Who goes into the winner's bracket? Who goes into the losers going ahead of tomorrow? It's going to be a fast weekend for these guys. 5 best of ones over the course of 3 days. Top 8 go on towards the finals. Bottom 8 will be finding themselves knocked out, eliminated from the running for APL next year. Big stakes, big games on the line, and now qualifiers are out the way. The next chapter of this story starts right here on Nighthaven Labs. First map for this series, possibly 2 more to come. Clubhouse and Chalet will follow suit if the teams so decide it. They want it to be quick. We want this one to be a bloodbath. We want this one to be a free mapper. We want to start off this one with the reason why I love APAC. So let's get into things without further hesitation. Nighthaven Labs is on the line. Can you be my enemy? What a team name that one is as well. Can you be my enemy? Why not can you be my lover? We're a chat, we're a community full of love for each other and cringe memes and 6-7 jokes. I don't want to be enemies with anyone. Denari ban creeping on through from the side of BME. An interesting choice. Certainly, one we don't see every day. I mean, it's a valid ban. You know, Denari is quite strong. He can be quite a picker. I'm looking towards more so that storage window where you can like death stack the lasers and have something very difficult to break on through. A second ban, though, from the attack will be a little more default. You're going to be getting rid of the bandit. Over on the flip side, Ace Thermite bans. Again, default bans. Exactly what we're used to seeing here inside of Labs. Nothing's too different here as we transfer across regions. But we are going down to basement for start one, and one we don't always see on labs more particularly is going to be Echo, Sifty there. It's an operator who doesn't always get the limelight of day. On other maps, he can be really great in playing, whether you want to play him more for the end of round there or towards that more disruptive end round style of Siege. He certainly has his viability kind of either way, either place. But where do you see him on labs normally? It's not a common pick. And looking at the lineup here from OCS, it's going to be, they're going to play very anchor-centric. They're going to play together. They want to just be holding down the site, holding down the main fort, and it's all down to BME to kind of crack that one open. And I think they recognise it's not going to be too much on the kind of roam. So you've just got your Shiko and the Dukebi. That's going to be the sole one there for kind of clearing out those roamers. Instead, it's pressure on the vertical, the Grim, the Capital for that execute on towards the site. Team's going to be going in, going to be nice and fast, and hopefully quite a nice bloody end of the round when we get towards there. But of course, we've got a little while first. We've got to get through of this one. Make sure the feed stays in nice high resolution. YouTube's like, no. There we go. High res clean.
Absolutely not. Why would we want high res resolution, right?
Why would we want to be able to read the text? Who wants to read the text?
Exactly. Exactly. Well, the interesting part so far looks like we're going for a downstairs take. So instead of going for the primary side of upstairs, we're going for the secondary side. As many people have constantly said and don't really understand, tertiary site means 3. It's the 3rd site for most teams to go to, and they decide to make a little bit of difference when it comes to that site. But specifically for this downstairs take, Travi, I'm seeing a pretty good lineup, and there's an Echo in play.
This is exactly what I was waffling. It's such an interesting pick. It's not one we see a lot on labs, but instead it's going to be the Solace actually getting in the first involvement there on the top floor. Katoria goes down. And they've got the Dukebi as well on this offense. So immediately hop on towards the cameras, hack them on over. And if I'm not mistaken, they can now see where those yokai drones are. All of the players on the attack should be able to control them and use them as the cameras at least.
Yeah, it kind of negates the entire purpose of the Echo at that stage. You just know exactly where the drones are, so you can remove them nice and easy, or you can use them to your advantage, even in the warehouse. As you can see, one of the drones currently being used, but that information is not going to be as useful. Dukov, coming out of Escape from Dukov, manages to find a kill. And the Dukebi finds a second. OCS seems to be in a bit of a struggle right now.
So they are. Meanwhile, on the side of Can You Be My Enemy, and a little bit of a flow state disrupted immediately there by Rue, shuts down JV, 4v2 situation. Now, these find a few defenders, while they've got a C4 in back pocket and likely some yokai drones to play around, it's going to be difficult to get the most out of this utility here, just due to the sheer numbers advantage that this attacking side are going to be holding through towards this one. A retake on towards the top floor from Rue could be the game changer needed, but you can see it immediately. Shiko's holding down the angle, triple inside of the round, leaves it just down to 1.
Bum, bum, bum. The Echo all by himself, his utility taken off the board, and his Echo drones, his ability that he brings to the session, absolutely unnecessary, absolutely not needed in this case. And whoa, that's a kill and a half. I didn't even see the player. That was brilliant. But first round, Can You Be My Enemy? Easily taken.
Nice, clean first round, and a very clean first round as well. That's the thing. That was very much just a case of we're just going to keep on moving. And OCS unable, I think the biggest issue there was they didn't trade anything. A lot of people died, and there was never a response. There was never an answer back. It was always the person dies on their own, isolated on an island, and that's the unfortunate result. That's where they go down. But it's okay. It's round number 1 of the best of 3. You've got plenty more time here to warm back into things, so it's not done yet. It's only the start. Up towards the top floor, though, the typical primary bomb site. And we're already seeing that mirror, as we always tend to see her, extended out towards that IT side.
Yeah, most common for this this site. You will see the mirror in play. Same with the downstairs site. There are a few good, interesting positions that you can kind of set her up as a general whole on both of these 2 sites. And in most cases, pushing this site requires some sort of shield. You need to gain that warehouse control. The second that you get the ability to control that warehouse, it becomes extremely difficult for the opposition team, especially the team on defense, to counteract it. An interesting idea. I love to see this mirror setup getting that mirror
Oh,
onto the main wall instead of positioning it back towards the CC stair side means that you can stop people from even attempting to get any hard breach down.
They're not even going to give them the opportunity, not even get the possibility to give it a go. 30 seconds in towards this one here. BME just slow but surely making their way, droning out the map, just trying to check for any sort of shenanigans on the bottom floor. No one from OCS really extending throughout the whole map here. They're kind of letting the bottom things just kind of go, relegated on towards their own side. Instead, going to be more focused on kind of dealing with that top floor side, that kind of top floor pressure that can indeed be applied on through Decade. Going to try and trick out this connector wall here. I think just a little bit too late for the Electro Claw to connect on through there. Caught by the Thatcher anyway. Defense just forced to fall on back.
Well, the holding down of the side. 1 minute and 50 seconds remaining on the board. They've been able to successfully remove the utility off the wall, allowing for the entrance to be made from one of those can openers. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're on the side of BME. Direct push in towards the site. The Grim charge is going to be sent out. Information should be gathered on whether a player is going to be positioned close, but it looks like the Deimos doesn't even care. He's going to jump straight in and put a bit of pressure into this electrical side, all the way through potentially onto that connector as well. 20 seconds remaining on the board. Really? That was almost a one-directional sided push that could have worked out, but with the loss of the Deimos, they're in a really bad position here, BME.
Rough. It's a rough start here. You've got no pressure you can apply from underneath yet because OCS have recognised the Buck wants to play this game, so there's two of them sent on down to try and deal with him. It's the one from the left, Katoria on the mirror, gets it with the Vector, and suddenly this attack from BME is stalling out just a little bit, struggling to find their foothold in this round. Pressure being applied. They've all been spotted out, and the push in towards site, what feels like almost inevitable at this point because it's one of their few options left. This defense doing a really, really good job of holding themselves right now. Pico just falls away back from their pillar position, giving the attack that space to push into sight, but at this point, Tiaki, it's a trap waiting to unfold.
Oh, it's basically over as it's dead. It's just small shots, small positions, small mistakes being made on a consistent basis. And it's a complete clearance. 5-0 was on the board for that man. But he's immediately taken off. The Grim, not necessary for the round, and it's a great lockdown coming in from OCS. What are your predictions for this map? Who do you think's going to end up coming out on top?
See, I'll be honest, I don't really know either of these two teams very well. First time casted either one of them. Chat favoured OCS. I'm pretty sure predictions were like 100% in favour. Everyone was quite confident. No, so it's 82% chat favoured OCS. 18% decided it could be Can You Be My Enemy. So I don't really know. BME though, I've got to give them credit. Round number 1 was really impressive stuff from them. I don't know, Tiaki.
Well, I have some bad news for chat.
Oh.
Can You Be My Enemy is going to be the one to win this out. I believe in them.
Okay.
Let's go. Can You Be My Enemy? They've been able to secure one round. Yes, they're on the attacking side. Yes, OCS is on the defensive side. But overall, as far as we've seen, and I'm going to go back to being unbiased here for a second. As far as we've seen, BME feels pretty strong when they're actually going for the attack here. OCS have kind of had that answer in a few rounds, such as the previous one. A little bit of an answer in the round before that, but for the most part, it feels like there's still a consistency coming in from Can You Be Mine?
I can't help but agree with that one, to be honest with you. It certainly does feel like the case, especially that round number 1. It was a very high showing of fundamentals. Here in go of this one, we'll see how things unfold. It's still early days. OCS, I like this Echo play on the base, but I want to see if they can rectify their mistakes. Round number 1, I think they just instead got picked apart on the top floor too easily. Weren't really in a position to trade, so I need to see them winning these early kind of engagements. So when we get to that late round, it's not like you're kind of beating a dead horse.
Well, the main idea here is to not lose any of those drones or lose any player. To be honest with you, if OCS loses the player, that is basically the Echo drones removed off the board. That's the information that they need coming straight through there. They now know that the Dokkaebi is in play. Losing a member means losing basically 2 players off their team that were supposed to bring intel gathering operators. That was supposed to bring intel gathering utility, and immediately flipping that over to the opposition team and giving them the intel gather. But at the same time, look how close this is. It's a beautiful shot coming through from the Grim, and it leaves so many players in a bad position. That Nitro Cell, unfortunately, set up a little bit off.
Same issue we had before. These OCS players, they're just not in a position to trade each other. They're playing very separated from right now. You look at Katoria, all the way back, tucked inside of Kitchen here, and while you could get some kills, catch him off guard if BME aren't aware, if they drone you out, you're suddenly a dead man. You're suddenly in a difficult spot. And with the damage coming on through, it seems a certainty that they know the information's there. Duckov will move in, mop up the kill. And now this OCS defense is being peeled back quite quickly here, Tiaki. The final three relegated towards the basement, and 50 seconds to hold the line.
How surprising that this bottom floor basement has been the toughest position for OCS to hold at this stage in time, with the timer slowly ticking down, 40 seconds remaining on the clock. It's a little bit of a back and forth. They know that these players could potentially be close, and the Grim's going to clear a lot of that angle while the soft breach begins to make its presence known within the match. But again, that timer ticking down, there's going to need to be some sort of executing move coming in from OCS any second now, as the Thorn charges will begin to go off. This is going to need to be a big pick from the Valkyrie. Will it go through? It will.
She's got the pick, charging towards the site now, denying it here, Graken with both. And suddenly, BME panicking. Duckov will be able to find a stabilizing pick, but the kit's gone cold. You have no choice but to stick it on Downer. The Thatcher provides the cover against C4. It's going to be Dekebi to cover the guns, but she can't hit her mark. Diffuser, though, will be solid on the ground. Echo just too little, too late. 40 seconds left on the defuse now. The defense have to spring in towards action, but denied by these Capital of 68 in bolts here. It's buying them time, buying them space to relocate themselves. And while the Echo drone will come on in, feed the information on through, a difficult retake awaits these defenders.
It's a slow movement coming up. First peaking point is going to be there, but instead it's traded off to the opposite position. Shotgun in hand. I was going to say shotgun. It's not a shotgun. It's a DMR in hand. Watches as the player steps on his face and decides to shoot him.
Could you imagine if you could trip over prone players? Like, you stand on someone who's prone like that and your character just trips over them? That'd be so good. You take like a little bit of damage, he jumps on your face and you're fine. That's not realistic. I want realism in my game.
Imagine if there was a mechanic where he jumps on your face and then you strap him with a grenade and jump back over the opposite side.
Yeah, you just give him a here you go, have this. Just slip it, pull
Here's
the pin,
a present.
put it.
Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
Pop it in his pocket, off your top, kaboom! That's freebie. That would be fun.
That would be absolutely incredible. But in this case, instead of worrying about all of that, it looks like we are going to get a bit of a switch up. First floor is going to be the position of Ghoul, and Pulse is going to be brought in instead of the Echo for that intel gathering operation. Pulse is a lot better, in my opinion, especially when you know that Dokkaebi has been picked up on a consistent basis. Now that it's banned off, it's kind of in between. Which do you want to pick? Which do you feel more comfortable with? The Pulse makes a lot of sense for that bottom floor and that middle.
Pulse is great, especially nowadays. He's got the Reaper. He's got that machine pistol secondary available to him. So he can use that shotgun for those close range engagements, but he's no longer putting himself on that disadvantage by bringing it in the longer range ones there. With that pistol, nice bit of utility. And there's so much soft destruction on the bottom of this site. You'll often just see it. He's going to lurk down below, use the information from the Valkyrie, from the Solace. Even once one C4 is burnt, there's so much here for OCS to kind of know what's going on. They're going to be using all three of these C4s for maximum effect this round.
Well, as long as he doesn't get picked off early, of course, with the Dokkaebi removal, it does mean, in most cases, operators need to be specifically chosen for that roaming presence, but it doesn't feel like Be My Enemy have decided to really go with that. They preferred to go with a more aggressive sort of playstyle, especially when you consider the Capital being brought in with the Ram, the Thatcher. Everything to me is saying that their lineup is more aggressive than it is an attempt to stop any sort of kind of nitro cells going out. The only person that I can really identify to stop that would be the Thatcher.
is going to be a key part of this round next. He can catch him mid-air now. That's such a valuable part of this rework that's been added onto him. He, as you saw in the previous round, he's trying to cover the plant there with that launcher he now has. So giving that one to him, giving him that availability, it'll be a really interesting one to see how it plays out. BME will want to establish vertical control. That's exactly what they're going to start to do. IT wall going to be opened up now. Candela's into sight here. Is there a world where they just decide to say enough is enough and just full send it on through? Not just yet. Pushing through Aqua now, trying to dislodge these top floor players. They know about the one behind the desk. They're going to swing him round, pre-firing. Will take him down. Good start to the round here from BME.
And that's a Nitro Cell off the board. 2 more remaining. Keep your eye on that Pulse, who may be able to just set up a beautiful Nitro Cell position. But the longer he waits for this Nitro Cell, the longer this team has to open up that floor and gain the position, gain a potential advantage to play, basically put the Pulse down. Nitro Cell will go out. Doesn't find any damage, movement being made. It's all down to 1. And at this stage, it looks like could be my enemy is a lot more confident in this attacking side.
They're just so quick with how they're moving through this. They're not really caring too much about what the defense are throwing up against them. More so, they're just keeping that pace high, that pressure on. And you can see OCS aren't entirely sure. All of this information they're bringing, I've got to wonder what for Tiaki, because they're not entirely convinced on where this attack is coming from. They've all peeled back away to kitchen cafeteria side. Side's completely vacant right now, bar for the players underneath. And while they do have to pulse down there to try and feed the information to the Valkyrie with the C4, you can stop one plant. But BME have so many numbers right now that it should be an easy one for them. Up on the desk as well, they are aware of what's coming, and I think they're in a position where they can just try and facilitate this plant on down, incursion in towards the basement, successful as well. This retake attempt here from OCS underneath, it's just not working out for them, unable to really hold the line. Push up gets aggressive, will charge up the cargo stairs, but with kit down, it's going to be a hard one.
60% win rate. When they've got the diffuser down, it becomes a little bit more difficult for the opposition team. Once again, the Ying is in play. Machine pistol coming out and about, but it's not going to be able to do anything. Could be my enemy. Appears to be the enemy of the opposition team and are really putting up a fight.
A big thing you said earlier as well, Tiaki, is this map often leans itself towards the defense. What are we staring at in the scoreline right now? A guaranteed even split for Be My Enemy. They've got 3-3. They've done their job for this half excellently. With still 2 rounds to play for here. OCS, they can return to the one site that's been successful for them thus far. This top floor site. And this is going to be a crucial round for them here, because the other options available to them, the basement site, the tertiary and the first floor, neither have been too convincing in my book. They're going to need to make sure they're coming out of this half with this second round here.
Something's concerning about the sites that we picked, right? You're correct. We've locked down this top floor site. We were happy with the way that it went. That bottom floor site wasn't anywhere near as convincing as it needed to be. And they lost that twice. That site's basically, if you're in a competitive state of mind, that site's a no-go at this stage. You just don't want to play with it because of the fact that the opposition team knows how to play it. They obviously understand how it's set up, and they understand how to beat it on a consistent basis. So where do you go next? Tertiary site. You have 2 of them. 2 options of where to go. And even then, if you lose that, well, that's just a 4-2 waiting to happen.
That's not a good scoreline to be sitting on, going on towards your attack. And keep in mind, this is obviously the map pick of BME. They wanted to play this one. This was their choice. So we will expect them to do a little bit better on it. But a 4-2 split on the attack, that's crossing the line of, is that just being better on your own map pick, or is that just being really dominant in the first half here? Aware of this vertical pressure, JV being careful on towards it. Pico has just peeled away back towards meeting side, though, and going to fall on through. Also, the yellow colouring on this map. Can we just talk about Piss Haven Labs for a second? Look at it, it's so yellow.
Look, it's a good choice. I really like the fact that they let Ella come in and just spray paint the entire place. That's what it kind of feels like, even with the cryo canisters going out. It still looks completely and utterly piss color or green.
Or green. It's an interesting choice. It was a bug that will probably be rectified soon, but in the meantime, like, look at it. We can just... I don't know. It just gets me in a particular way. It's just funny. Minute 40 left on the clock for this one. Now the attack slowly pushing on through towards connector side. Defense starting to feel a little bit of pressure in the air, but ultimately not too much there, fairly comfortable. Instead, the pressure's actually on the inverse. Down on towards the vertical below. It's this Buck JV trying to challenge, but being slapped on the wrist and told, no, how dare you?
Well, a little bit of movement potentially into the electrical area. Forces Katora to fall back. Natural Cell will go out. Finds damage, but not enough to remove the player as of just yet. Of course, that mirror being placed down makes it a little bit difficult for the Capital to make their push up. On the opposite end, though, players inside of sight can just wait it out again. This is somewhat a one-dimensional side of push, but so much utility is being used against this opposite side to just waste as much time as possible, and the Buck still doing his job underneath.
The Buck is going to be the key factor inside of this round, and one that OCS may want to send someone down to go and deal with. He's going to be applying so much pressure, creating all of that free space inside the server side there, meaning BME, once they deal with this spawn here, they've now got the space they need to be able to push on it. And while she does take down with them, the Toxic Babes with another, BME are capitalising upon this momentum. It's effectively a 3v3 now, found that equalising pick, and they can start to look at how they might want to try and get this diffuse on down. Grackham next on the line here, on the mirror behind the half wall, trying to push up through Aqua, backstab JV, support the team, no, can't do so. And BME have suddenly collapsed at the final hurdle here. 3 quick kills from OCS. They turn around and lock this site down for a second time in a row. Really going to need to be looking for this even split now.
That was more convincing from OCS, and it looked better from their point of view. On the opposite end as well, we ended up seeing a more consistent sort of playstyle coming in from them. It just still lacks that confidence that I like to see from teams. BME still felt like the aggressing team, the team that seemed to know what they were doing a little bit more within the round, with that player positioned downstairs and no answer for his presence. So as much as I'm okay with could be my enemy, as much as I'm okay with OCS winning, it still feels like something's missing.
It does. Just a little bit outside of this lineup here, and I think it's that, like you say, Tiaki, it's that control factor. Despite BME losing there, they were in control of the entire pace of that round there. OCS weren't really disrupting too much at any point. It was only they were kind of just, hey, we got the kills, we found our line. And while they did play a really good end of round there, the middle and the early round, entirely in control of the attack inside in terms of pace and in terms of how it was being played. OCS not doing enough disruption that I would like to see from them. And especially on a site like this on the basement where it's quite easy to box in, you need to have that disruption element there, so the attack can't just lock you into that site too early on.
I'm loving the pickup that's being brought in here. The Echo once again being brought into play. This time, there isn't a counter that's really being brought in. So, for the most part, this Echo is going to be extremely useful. And honestly, the last time that they were down on that bottom floor site, the Echo should have had a bit more presence. As we saw, the plant did go down, and I mean, look, the drone was there, but it just wasn't used as, oh my god, my brain is absolutely, I'm losing it, man.
He's gone from OS to this, and it's just too many best of threes in a day. It's a long day of Siege. It's late for you as well, isn't it? What time are you at now?
I think we're at 10 p.m. Yes, we are.
Okay, yeah, you're getting there.
We're at 10 p.m. and I've been awake since 6 a.m. with surgery and everything else. So we're doing well. We're doing well.
You're such a trooper coming to cast. I would take it as an excuse to have like the entire weekend off. And you're just like, nah, don't care. Send me in.
Who needs blood?
Exactly. Who needs that stuff? We can watch Bloodfield.
All of the members on both of these two teams do at this stage.
They want it. They're out for it this morning. Certainly are. They're really playing. It's been quite a fun game, actually. I've really enjoyed watching it, and I really want to see how this execute shapes up. Right, you've got that Ying, you've got that Glaze. You know they're going to be trying to cover that plant down with that smoke one. It's going to be really chaotic, and while we have a quieter early round here, either Pico springs into action, someone else goes huge. There you go. Springs into action, finds JV. That's the Habana gone. BME now need to find a response. This is that disruption element I wanted from the defense. He's got away scot-free. That's a 4v5 that the defense can now play around.
Did you see the way that Pico just like moved his aim across?
Yeah, he's like...
He was like, I think I can hear someone. Let me just controller slowly move my aim.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And if that's how he uses his mouse, man, more to him. Absolute power. But for a 4v4 situation, it does look like we're going to be losing one member. That is going to be the Thorn in play. Not a massive loss for the defending team, considering the fact that this operator, in most cases, already has the equipment down. A big misplay coming in from the Glaz there, really needing to answer straight back. That is going to be one down, and exactly what they were looking for. I don't know why we're peeking an angle that has smoke, and you know that Glaz is within that area, even rushing straight through. The drone will come in, and if
hits the light
through once again.
It hits the light! The drone, it hits the light. You cannot get it down. You have to swing around the corner pre-fire. You will find the shield shut it down, but it's a 2v2 situation now. While the defense have control of the site, that's perfectly fine, and head to BME because they're on the vertical. They're looking to make a response, and they'll be able to do so. Heartbreak for that, because he would have had that. It's just unfortunate there was a beam of light in his way. That was actually kind of tragic. I might cry.
That's the second time that Echo has been a really good pick, really good idea, and then it's either used too late or gets hit by the light.
Yeah.
In both cases, it's just, I don't want to blame the Echo player, but I kind of have to in this consideration. The Echo should have been able to stop both those plants. That's the reason that he's brought in. If they're not able to do that, that utility is essentially useless.
And then he leaves as well his teammates playing in that kind of 1v2, 1v4 situation there. It's a 2v4. But the issue is, the Echo's sitting on a drone. He's not helping the team at that point if he's not getting anything out of that utility. Like you say. Oh well. Hearts are swapping over now. BME on towards the favourable side with a very favourable scoreline. 4-2 on the attack is normally what we would expect out of a defensive side. So they're very much in a driving seat for this one. OCS have some catching up to do. My big concern is I don't want to see those issues with kind of controlling pace and controlling tempo. If those creep in towards their attacks, that's going to be a big issue for them because you know BME will be more than happy to just wait them out and play around it.
Just check in on something here quickly. Yeah, so as I thought, defense have a 57% chance to win.
Okay.
That is the current win rate for this map. Over, I think it's 24,000 game.
Damn, that's a lot of laps.
Attack versus defense, and that's all competitive games or games that have tier D and up competitions. So anything that's kind of in that regard, right? These are not just casual games that players are kind of playing. Everyone's kind of trying their best, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's what it's called. Regardless, though, with a 24,000 set of games, win rate 57%, it means that BME must be feeling a little bit confident now. They've got that 4-2 split. They've got the ability to control the game as far as they need to, and now they just need 3 rounds to look it off. Yes, you mentioned the fact that this is BME's map pick, but what does this say for OCS if they go to their map pack and it's still in the same sort of capacity? By the way, this Denari setup, I'm really liking. I'd like to see more of it.
I'm like this, actually. I've not seen Denari used in this way yet so far on Labs, but I'm liking it. I'm making mental notes here for games later on tonight. It's a nice little setup. I'm actually quite a fan, and it's just one more layer for the attack to try and chew through. One more thing for them to deal with. They don't have any drone-style operators like Flores or Twitch, so they're going to have to make their way in, try and shoot them out, or possibly expend a grenade to get rid of the utility. But equally speaking of thrown utility, here comes Koromomo here with a C4 in hand, ready to just lob it over the top there to connect to wall when the call is made on through that, hey, there's someone pushing. Kaboom, you shut them down, take them out here. OCS are stalling now. This is a concern for me, Tiaki. They need to find a way to bring this pace back up.
Well, look at the shotgun in the hand of the Thorn, itching to be used. Nitrocell still available up and ready to be sent straight through. But yes, you're completely correct. There is really no area of a push being made from OCS. It feels like they've got so many directions to make pushes. They've kind of spread themselves a bit too thin. As the timer begins to count down, 60 seconds remaining on the board. It's a lot of utility being used at this stage. NitroCell goes through, doesn't find the angle, and they should be able to get this wall opened up, but the first kill will come through, and it is going to be the Warden of Darkov.
Rafter's position forced out there by the Capital Bolts. Really beautiful read there. Good bit of utility usage from the attack. Gives them that early pick their favour. And Warden, a key operator in that late round, as all of these flashbangs that are going to be used by the attack, well, he couldn't be affected by them. Now the rest of the team is going to have to sit in fear. All Toxic Baby expended on the side of the smoke as well, meaning the fact that they're not going to be able to be stalled out at all this attack. It should be a clear push on in. Just as I say that, though, Shiko shuts down the Capital. More importantly, that's the Fuser. Case is cold right now for OCS, so they've got an option. They've just got to swing in for kills, but swinging in blind isn't the way to do it. Sifty, the final man standing to try and pick up the pieces left of the team, doesn't even get a chance to pick up the diffuser, as BME will pick up their 5th round inside of this one. A really good hold, and yet again, OCS, it's those late rounds where they kind of just crumble away.
Next round will be the telltale round. If they can lock down this bottom floor site, then OCS are in major trouble. There is no site that can't be locked down by BME. They can go any which way that they want to. They can even go back to the previous site if they do end up losing one. And OCS, well, they're on quite a bit of the back foot. You're not going to have the momentum. What does this say about next game, though? What we've seen from OCS feels somewhat convoluted in the way that they're trying to play around and coordinate with each other. Certain things just not going their way, and certain angles being picked up nice and early from them. And I mean, if you're BME right now, you end up securing this map outright. What does that put into the minds of your opponents, and how does that make you guys feel? Do you feel like just kind of giving in to that confidence, or do you play even harder?
It's a tough question. It's a really tough one. And quite interestingly, look at it, OCS, they're actually doing all right for themselves, kind of in that kills department. Most of the team are sitting on or around that positive mark. And on the flip side of BME, you've got one player who's really, really leading the pack right now, Yoshiko, 12-4 inside of the opening 7 rounds here. Really impressive stat line. 3 KD, Dukov, Karamomo, they're both having really, really good games as well there. So the front line of this BME team is doing bits. Aggressive Echo outside the building, 2022 DPEC Berlin Major. Take me right back home, baby. Oh, I miss those days. That was fun.
I love when Echo players actually know how to play Echo. Ironically enough, when I used to play competitive, Echo used to be my man.
Hey.
Just because of how absolutely annoying I was with him. It's constantly going up and down, constantly punishing people for their movements. And look, I've always said this, a good Echo player can be the size of an entire team.
Yeah.
Just by the presence that he places on a map. In this case, OCS, they've gained a bit of territory. They've cleared the top floor. Now they need to start looking for that first floor control, but keep your eye on the Mozzie. He is a pest. There's a reason that he's called Mozzie. Because he's an absolute mosquito.
He's thinking about it. Pops the pest down, runs away for the time being. But I don't think he's done yet, Tiaki. I think he's going to keep on going for more here. He's being fed yellow pinks by the rest of the team. They seem to have an idea that I think something's going down Vending way. No one's in there just yet, but he does have the window on watch, does have the lock-in, and you can see immediately there the 4 pings being provided. I believe that is from the Echo of Dukov, just continuing to be aggressive, continuing to be in their face, and so much information being fed right now. It's not a case of where is the Mozzie going to strike, it's more just a case of when is he going to strike, because you know when the moment is right, he's going to jump on down, and OCS need to be ready for it.
I'm absolutely loving the way that this Echo is playing. Constant information game, even though he's got the rest of his drones set up, or one of his drones set up and ready. The rest are being moved around, and immediately Dukov has the information of where the opposition team is setting up. Nitro cells Well, there's only one, and it's ironically enough, not Koromomo. It is the one that has the Nitro cell compared to Koromomo. But for now, it will be opened straight up. They've gained that first floor control, but the clearance needs to be made onto that bottom floor. And already, the presence is there. It's a dismantlement of BME.
Koromomo in a rat spot right now, and this could be the big play, the big disruptor that's needed. Down goes the Thermite, unaware of where the rest are coming in from. We'll be able to get a double kill out of it. All you need to do is brave the storm, stay alive, but no, Katoria drops down the hatch straight onto your head. And OCS, well, they couldn't do too well on this site on the defense. Attacking it seems to be no issue for them whatsoever. They'll keep themselves alive. More importantly, keep BME away from map point. Tiaki, that is a huge one. That one there, right? That is going to be the one that you're really going to want to avoid them getting anywhere near.
Yeah, well, 5-3. It's only 1 round away for them and 3 rounds away for OCS. Look, it's doable. The game's not over until the fat lady sings. That's the basic phrase that a lot of people use. Yeah. And of course, in this case, it can be anything but. Taking Nighthaven Labs on a consistent basis. Oh, I'm surprised. Why are we going tertiary side so quickly?
We've got Kitchen, we've got Tuchanka, we've got a Clash. This is, I think, safe to say, a little bit unusual, a little bit not what we're used to seeing here. I mean, you can't go back to top floor. You could give basement another go, but defense really hasn't had much luck on basement so far. It's been bought, what, 4 times now? Been lost 4 times by the defensive side. So maybe just throw a curveball in there. Try out Kitchen until that top floor opens itself back up again. Give it a go. You never know what can happen. And I like this lineup as well from the defense. It's a lot of fun.
I just see annoyances on a consistent basis right now.
Well,
every single one of these operators is extremely annoying to deal with. Warden can block a lot of smokes, flashbangs, which a lot of enemy teams normally bring. The cryo canisters slow down the potential play that could be made by teams. He's actually just spotted 1 on the cross. I don't think he's going to go for him just yet.
Yes, he is.
But the second that I say something, it's the second that I say something.
It's that time of day. He's not going to go for it. It's that cast the curse. And what does he immediately do as soon as you finish your sentence? He's out the window taking down the buck. I mean, I like it. It's a good read. And more importantly, it's that operator you've taken off the line there. All of that vertical pressure you can apply. You do have to fall back on the Ash. She has breaching charges, her primary launcher as well if she really needs it. But equally so, it's going to be a very detrimental loss there to the attacking side, who are going to struggle to get themselves in towards this one now. Katoria inside of storage can start to make a push horizontally, but vertical is off the table.
I just got up and walked away as soon as that happened.
Just off. He's done.
Why? Why does it happen every single time I start to talk about it? Every single time. And that's not a small pickup either. That's your soft breach for the most part. Of course, you've got the Ash that's able to come in and do a bit of presence from down below. But for the most part, that is your major soft breach. And that just causes a lot of problems. The Denari thinks, and I would tend to agree, sound-wise, the Ash is pushing from below. Presence. I thought that nade was about to roll down the stairs. The
This is disgusting.
of the Deimos not really being felt just yet, but that Ash is about to get a rude awakening. Yep.
Hello! JV is sitting right there on the staircase. OCS now have a major problem to deal with. A 3v5 situation. Chunka falls back away from the safety of his deployable shield, but not to matter. Clash has spotted 1 on out, and now you could just start to be a nuisance. Picked up there by Koromomo on the flank. 2v5 situation awaits OCS right now. They're just getting picked apart inside of this one. No way to get a clean entry in towards the building. A sandwich attempt on the Clash will fail. She'll spot you out. JV springing up to action from the staircase yet again. Sifty outside the building, probably sat there going, what the hell just happened? Where is my team? And now, why is there a Clash there?
Because there's a warden there.
Whoa!
and it's a chunker at the end. We love to see it. A little bit of fun and games, and that is the match point for Can You Be My Enemy? That's a big problem for OCS. They know that they can hold down the top floor site. They know that they can hold down that tertiary site, and there's still one site that's kind of unknown so far. Obviously, a bit of a switch up and a bit of changes can eventually come through. But the Denari and Dokkaebi will be taken off the board. Acceptable losses for both teams. I'm sure they would have planned for what this Denari, well, what losing Denari can do and what operators you bring. Of course, that Azami is still available. And now we're starting to see Jaeger.
Jaeger?
I haven't seen Jaeger in competitive play in a long time.
It's been 84 years. It's been so long. He's back on the table, back on the board. He's not really had many changes in the last years. I remember there was this era of Jaeger where he was just constantly receiving balancing updates, one after the other, really in the deep, in the trenches of that utility meta we had back a few years back, where they're just constantly adjusting him and Wamai. Now it's like he got a pistol a year or so ago now. He's got that little pistol with the red dot on it, but even then it's not really done much for him, I don't think. It's a better option than the P12, sure, but I like to see him, and we got the Clash back as well. I think that's going to be a really big problem for OCS here. They have banned out the Denari because that was causing them an issue as well. But equally, pick your poison, right, Tiaki? What do you get rid of? Do you get rid of the Denari? Do you get rid of the Clash? BME, they're happy to play either and happy to just be annoying to you.
Just target ban everything at this stage.
We ban every operator.
Ban the Clash, ban the Denari, ban... What else can we ban? Ban the Clash, ban the Denari. What's another really annoying operator? Ban the Echo.
Ban the Echo, yeah.
Either of the two kind of works out, but it looks like instead we're going for Hard Breaches banned off the board and Denari to finish it off, leaving that Clash in play. And that Clash presence, we haven't really seen it come too impactful. No. Well, really seen it be too impactful. But now that the Denari is gone, will we see how impactful it can potentially be? I feel like yes.
Yeah. We could certainly see something magical come here. As we say, OCS in a real trouble situation they find themselves in right now. They've just got to win 3 rounds in a row. Got to hold the line for quite a bit of distance, quite a bit of time. And it starts off with what is slow. It's been a bit of a slow attack here. Finally making some pressure known on towards the electrical side. This Sledge just tearing up ground, getting really close, really aggressive quite early on. But he's got to watch his space, know his place in the world. There's a Clash staring him down and not going to let him get any more than what he's got.
It's the grenade coming back into his face. Almost catches him off guard there from the Sledge. But it doesn't matter. There's a Nitro Cell underneath, and
nice.
With the only Nitro Cell up and available, it's put to good use. Double digits on the board for Koromomo. Push potentially coming straight down. It's going to be a jump in from the Finker, who manages to pick up one, but with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, you've got to compare your losses. You've lost an Azami.
Ooh.
And now you've lost the Finker as well. So much utility removed off the board.
Bracken fights one back on towards JV, shuts him down, but a big issue in this late round here is going to be that Clash. It's that backstab as well. Koromomo coming up huge, supporting the rest of the team. Double digits now from the result of this round, leaving the final 2 players of OCS left scrambling. What can they do? How can they find it? A Clash, she will eventually get dropped to the floor. A second kill to follow suit, flips this one on its head. OCS now in the advantage. Yoshiko on a sliver of HP here will be spotted out, does a little bit of damage on towards the Thatcher here. Can find the space, how he might want to take it, but he's unaware of the one on his left. OCS will hold head above water for 1 more round as we continue to fight on through and they try to force this overtime here on Labs.
The timer is slowly ticking down. 6-4 situation for OCS. They stand the test of time. But now, where do you go if you're BME? It looks like they're going back downstairs.
Oh.
That seems like a bit of a opposite idea.
Why is my question. Downstairs has just been ripped apart. There's not even been close rounds on that bottom floor, really. Everything has been kind of pretty convincing from the attack, right? Where
attackers need to locate and defuse.
I'm not judging because equally they're players, they know better. I'm just gonna say it. There's a reason I don't play this game. I cast it.
I'm judging.
Okay, okay, you know what, Tiaki? I'll let you take this one. You can judge. Okay, you can get judged and you can get blamed. I'll sit back here on the picket fence and take a politician's answer to the whole situation. It is the way, though,
all I could honestly see just then, after immediately discussing that, is, wow, it's very green downstairs.
Yeah. My favourite map, Pisshaven Labs.
Piss Labs.
Piss Labs.
Pisshaven Labs. Piss Labs. Close enough.
Yes. So.
Yeah, no, you're 110% correct. We don't really understand the reason that the players have chosen this site specifically. There's no... I can kind of see logically where they're coming from, right? If we look down this site, we get further in the mental, we continue on from there. We know we can hold this site. Yes, we had one singular loss. There were 3 players up on the opposition team that managed to survive throughout the round. But for the most part, we whittled down the time enough to make our presence felt, enough to make our presence known. We had the first kill. We should be able to secure this.
Should. Being the key part.
OCS must feel extremely confident as well. That nade did not hit anything.
No, I think it was supposed to get the castle barricade there on the Animus window, but I think it might have just rolled back. It's prone. It does happen, but it's just not what you need right now if you're OCS. You're already on the back foot. You're kind of already in this kind of struggling position. And really, it's one that you've got to watch yourself out for. Pushing through the first floor now, we'll get the control of it mostly established. You just have to be careful of Yoshiko, who's boxed himself in towards cargo. You've not got to rotate in towards control this time. It's a bit of an interesting pivot from what we're used to seeing by teams, but it does mean that the attack can have a bit more ground, and they're kind of boxed in, and that C4 could have been deadly. Trying to feed off the Echo now, trying to see if they can claim something for free.
Excuse me, sorry.
It's okay.
Look, it's going to be opened up. Everything that I'm seeing here from OCS is textbook. The clearances are correct. The Echo drone going up and down, providing intel, is correct, except for the fact that somehow that Mozzie just managed to get completely past the opposition team while they were watching the angle. It's a big pickup onto that buck. That is most of your soft breach. Of course, you've got the sledge there, but now you need to rotate him from control room to that upstairs point to make that clearance and clear most of the site. 45 seconds on the board, that's not enough time to do so.
JV as well should not be getting away with picks like that one. He should just not be winning those kind of gunfights, and he could just continue to run away, play the devil's advocate inside of this round. You call Mozzie the pest, you call him the nuisance in your back of your ear, but equally in this round, it's just been JV. He's been so annoying, so irritating to the enemy side, thrown their plan in total disarray, and with 20 seconds left on the clock, look at this, he's swinging around the cargo stairs player, but Koro's beating him to it. 2v4 situation now, one corded in Animus, one outside the building, going for a retake. Rotation around. Sure, you can try what you want, but it's 2v3 at this point, Tiaki. There's not many ways into this one. You just have to force yourself into the site. You find a second. Might be able to make it happen here, but because of the clock, you have to stick this defuse on down. And when the cover goes down, here is the Echo springing into action. Is it going to be off the back of the drones? Probably not. Nobody has a clear line of sight, and they line up for him. BME get away with robbery, and they will take map number 1.
Daylight robbery on Night Haven Labs, taken, secured, and controlled. Could you be my enemy? Managed to secure a 7-4 victory, absolutely deserved, and exactly what we want to see coming from them. Huge, huge, huge. Oh my god, my ability to speak English is completely gone. Yoshiko managing.
Can you be my enemy? Can you be our hope here for this first game? A really, really good showing from them, like you say, Tiaki. 7-4. It's a pretty comfortable close out for the first game for them. And it puts them in a nice advantage now. They get a couple of minutes to just have a pause, have a reset. They're going on to their opponent's map pick. Pressure's off their backs. They're happy. They're comfortable. And honestly, I don't blame them in the slightest.
Yeah, I mean, look, for most of that game, from the beginning until the final 2 rounds, it was mostly locked in from can you be my enemy. Every round felt I was going to say complicated, but that's not what I meant. Every round felt perfect, strategized, executed in a beautiful way with confidence. The last 2 rounds started to look a little bit sketchy overall there, but they were able to secure it out at the very end. Echo making his presence known, and for the most part, I mean, can you be my enemy? They've been a beautiful team so far. Let's see if they can continue it on into a map that I think everyone's going to be comfortable with.
Everyone's going to know this map. Everyone is going to love this map. And hopefully it's going to be a nice little fun one. We're going to be going on right through on towards a break. But don't you worry, we will be back in just a second. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few.
Welcome back, folks, to another episode of the Challenger Stories. Today I'm joined by the very not at all camera shy Dianic. Di, would you like to introduce yourself to the folks there at home?
So, no. No, I'm joking. My name is Dianic. My name is Dianic, if you guys know me from potential earlier competitive scene player. Now I'm a caster for the German Tier 1 scene and English Open qualifiers.
Nice journey you've had throughout this game, and let's start at the start, where things began. When did you get into Siege?
So I don't know the year, I only know the exact season. It was Parabellum.
Parabellum 2018.
18?
2018.
God damn, okay, holy. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
dinosaurs.
7 years. 8. Oh my, I've been in Siege since 8 years.
That's right, he was talking about 2015, I think we're good.
Oh my god. Just for the camera. You just pointed at Whippet.
Yes, Whippet is behind the camera filming right now.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, Parabellum I started because a friend was like, let's play this game because he knows I play CSGO. So I was like, yeah, let's play Rainbow Six Esports. It's a really nice game. I was like, okay. He bought it for me. We played it a lot. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh yeah, I like this game. And then I started watching competitive because I used to watch OCS competitive, I still do. And then I was watching Fabian and Canadian, those 2 games. And these 2 people are the iconic duo for me. It's like, doesn't matter what team, what era, my 2 idols in Siege. And the reason why I started then playing competitive is because I saw Canadian and Fabian how great they can be as IGLs.
Yeah, and was that what you wanted to do when you played competitive, lead the team in that IGL?
Yeah, no, when I started playing competitive, I was like, so before that I was like, okay, I'm shit. I'm terrible at the game. I was like, I need to lock in, okay? Because like, bro, I was like gold and like 0.0. I was not good. Like I was that. I said to me, if I want to play competitive, I have to hit plat or diamond first, and then have like a good KD to say I can carry my weight. I did that. I sweated a lot. Like I'm not joking to you.
Yeah,
like I'm
projects,
talking YouTube tutorial tip videos. I'm talking going into customs, learning the maps, learning the angles, learning the callouts in the game itself.
In the game, not on a YouTube video.
And YouTube videos, and like learning the angles from the YouTube video in game. I was a sweat, okay?
Yeah.
Like I was a sweat. Yeah, and then I reached my rank, but I was like, okay, now I can hold myself. And then I got into my first team. I started with friends, and then I just started to IGL. Then I was sent like how to IGL. I watched also videos like that from other competitive scenes. And that's how I developed over like multiple years. I was only the IGL, hard support IGL on both attack and defense. And yeah, it's like, that's how I started.
Playing to casting, when did you make that jump?
Playing to casting was a few years back. Believe now 3 years, because I was like, constantly I was doubting myself, constantly I was saying I'm not good enough, and at that point I was like, if I say to myself one more time I'm not good enough, I will stop, because if I stop believing in myself, what's the point? What's the point of me continuing? And I had another really big doubt, and I was like, that's it, because like if I don't believe in myself, nobody else will. Especially as a female player, I had a lot of comments to deal with. And so I was like, okay, if I don't believe in myself, I will stop for the sake of my sanity. And I stopped, and I was like, okay, I can't be a player, or I won't be a player. Let me try to live the scene in a different way. So I started my first tournament, Hype End. Listen, I'm a way too soft bean. So if somebody like breaks the rules, I'm like, it's okay. I will forgive you. You just don't do it
Right.
again.
Shall we
Not
go?
how you should do things as an admin.
And here we are, folks. Clubhouse, our second map here for the day. A test of fundamentals, a test of what these teams have to offer. The OCS make the comeback at 7-4. It wasn't the worst labs we've ever seen, not the best either. Some room for improvement certainly to be made. Now on to their choice of pick. Tiaki, do they have what it's going to take?
From what we've seen in the first match at Nighthaven Labs, it's very, very difficult to kind of say, to be honest with you. Most of the team seem to have some sort of coordination problems with the others within their team, and hopefully we'll see a bit of a change. Now they've had a bit of a break. Yes, it wasn't a long one, but they had a bit of a break in the ability to go through and probably figure out what was going wrong, sit down with their coach and figure out the best way to approach it. In saying that though, this is a fundamental map. There's a reason that teams don't pick this map specifically. And that's because of the fact that everyone knows how to play it. Every mum and their dog. This map has been in the game forever, Travi.
Oh, this is the map that's like... This is
Oregon.
this is like almost up there with Oregon. It's like the Dust 2 of Siege. This one is just as classic as it gets here. It's such a good map here, and it's reason why I love it, especially even in best of threes, even in best of ones, wherever it's played. It's just that test of your fundamentals as a team. It's very much a case of it's got a little bit of everything kind of in there. Everyone knows how it's played, so you're not really seeing too many surprises on it. It's just all about how well can you do the basics and adapt to some of our newer things into the game, because Tiaki are more immediately spotting one of our operators that's had a nice little buff in this season.
Yeah, Scopos coming in, being switched up a little bit here and there. And it's good to see her making her appearance. Of course, the same destruction as Aruni has from her melee attacks. The speed has been increased to 3 health, obviously reduced as a result. And a lot of changes to the way that she can swap between her active and inactive shells. So it makes a lot of sense to be seeing her up into play. But god damn it, where is Snake?
Where is Snake? This is a good question. Where is Snake? Like we said, we've both seen a little bit of him be played. He's kind of been teased. I think teams are kind of still working him out, how he exactly kind of fits into the lineup here. I don't really know if there's like a clear replacement here. Maybe the Kebby he can kind of go in for, but equally, I think until she gets remastered in the next season, I think it's going to be you take the Kebby over that Snake most of the time.
Well, most considerations in the way that I'm just currently kind of looking at, I guess, these operators, you're right, there's not really any that he can kind of take as the first pickup will come through once again. Can you be my enemy? Feeling very comfortable even going into this second map. But you look at the lineup, it's got a bit of everything. It's got everything that you need to get walls open, to push players off, to remove utility. Everything is there at the moment. Where does he fit in? Maybe in a different lineup, I could answer that question. But
The
right
cardboard
now,
box. Fits in a
point
little-
taken.
He fits in a little. You see that little cardboard box sitting there on a little sort of desk in front of Yoshiko. He's in there. That's where Snake's
Yes.
hiding. He's just in there giving call-outs. My man. He's
Oh.
been here. He's been here the whole time.
Oh, I heard the little sound. Quick, he's been found.
Run! Run away! Alert 99.99. Oh, I need to replay the Metal Gear games. They're releasing like part 2 of the collection, and I never fully played MGS4, so I'm really excited to play that one.
Really?
Yeah, I've never, because like I had it on PS3, but I never finished it. So I'm really looking forward to going back and playing that one, because I never finished it the first time round. So I kind of wait. And they've got the PSP one. Is it Peace Walker as well on there? Haven't played that either on this new collection, so I'm really looking forward to going back and playing those.
Which one were you saying, sorry?
Is it Peace Walker, the one that was on like the PSP exclusively at first?
I'll have a look for you.
Well, we should probably watch the Siege. 5v2 situation here. OCS walking inside, just getting mowed down at the first possible opportunity here. Riren caught in the corner inside of Moto, will be shut on down, and while Dukov is the one to find that kill, it leaves Sifty in a 1v4 situation, down the main staircase, a little bit behind the rest of the team, but equally, you can't be behind the team if there is no team to be had. You walk on down, feet holes found, JV finds it, BME pick up right where they left off. A very comfortable closeout to their first round here, and good stuff from them. Just, yet again, just not really phased by anything OCS are bringing.
PS3, by the way.
PS3.
Peace Walker was on PS3 and Xbox 360.
60. Peace Walker. What am I thinking of then? That was on PS... Portable Ops. I can't even remember. I can't remember.
I can't remember either, to be honest with you.
It's been a while.
So long.
It's been a while. I feel like old Snake in MGS4, where he's just like an old man. He's just had enough. That's how it feels sometimes.
Attackers need
Time to
locate
get
and
the clutch
defuse
out.
bomb.
Just hobble my way over to the computer for another day of Siege. Oh, my back.
Oh, man. Well, coming into round number 2 at this stage, Can You Be My Enemy still holding the momentum that they had in the last game as they continued to push their way through. JV on to that mirror will cut off a lot of those angles as an opportunity, but I'm liking what I'm seeing being brought in from OCS to a degree. There is one operator on there that I understand the pick, and I understand the reason for the pick, but the usefulness of the operator is where I start to question. The Cali being brought in. As a Cali main, I understand it. Wow.
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 I think Cali's on defense now. Look at the distance on that snipe. Bloody hell. There was... When we were at SI, there was obviously the people from like Ubisoft floating around filming content and whatnot. And they were doing this thing of red flag, green flag operators. They'd ask someone their main and then go to the next person, say red flag or a green flag. And the person before me said, Carly. I may have gone on a slight tangent about how much I hate Carly, and I think they probably cut it because I was rambling for a good minute. I'm just like, I hate playing with Carlys. They're always in 1v5s. Ugh. Annoying operators to play against, to play with. I'm sorry, man. I'm not a Carly fan. It was, yeah.
Leave my main alone, okay?
No.
She's good. She is useful. Please. Well, at least Warden's useful, and they are both in this game, so get out of here, Travi.
Warden is. Hear me out. Warden and Jewel from SMG 12 ACOG. That and Smokes. It's absurd. If you've not played Dual Front this season, this goes for anyone in chat as well. ACOGs are basically on everything. A lot of the defenders have attacker utility, so Warden has smoke grenades he can use, and he also has an ACOG on the SMG 12. It is gnarly. I would recommend giving that a go if you haven't. It's so fun.
Damn.
It's disgusting.
I can imagine for sure. But flashbangs begin to come through and heading straight down onto the clash. They'll move back, just give them a little bit of wiggle room for the side of OCS. But if you look at the amount of territory that they've actually gained, it's extremely minimal with the time period that they have left. And of course, logistics hatch could still potentially be watched, but it's just timer ticking down. We're seeing the same precision environment that OCS is known for. They take their time to go through a lot of this setup, but again, with that timer ticking down, and I know you've mentioned it, it's one of your favorite comments. 6 operator is the timer.
It is indeed. It is very much indeed, especially when you've got that clash to play against here. She's just got to whittle it down even further so for the side of BME. And OCS are really going to have a difficult time pushing in now because where's the presence? No one is inside the map, Tiaki. We've got 20 seconds on the clock. There's one player in CC Cash, but there's no one else inside the building. It's all going to be from a jacuzzi sprint and a highway jump through, and that is your options here. But BME, I think they're ready for it. They sense calm in the air, in the water. Candela's come on through, blinding absolutely nobody. Charging into sight, can't get the defuse down. The essential kill coming in from Darkov. They could just wait out the remainder of this clock here. And OCS, they might want to check their watches because they're a little bit off schedule.
I understand the coordination technique. I understand the direct push. I understand all of it. I see what they were going for within that round. Was it the right idea? It was a good idea. Was it the correct one? No. And the reason why is the clearance that they made with the amount of time that they had was not enough. They needed to clear in towards Jim. They needed to clear every single location up until the end of that construction area and just essentially kind of strangle the opposition team into certain areas where you can continuously hold an angle towards the site or towards the bomb plant. So without that clearance, everything that just happened from OCS completely broke down.
Round number 3, we head over towards Cash CC's side, completing the full rotation here for BME. And this is the big thing with the clubhouse, if you ask me. All 3 defensive sites are strong. Where is... I need to see a glimmer of hope by now that the theory, the tertiary, the weakest one, is going to be getting over the line for you. But the first 2 rounds, they haven't been convincing at all. It's been the clock getting down to 15 seconds, OCS go, oh crap, and just run on in, try and make something happen. BME, they're prepared for this kind of game. It's why we've seen the operators that are effective in the late round coming along. It's the Echo, it's the Fawn, it's the Smoke. It's such a struggle to get across the line when you've got that kind of utility on the board, and OCS need to change their approach sooner rather than later.
Immediately, I'm not seeing any nitro cells up in the hands for BMA. It doesn't feel like they need to really worry about it too much. And regardless, they'll be able to successfully open up the wall for the side of OCS, but that's about it. That's where the plan goes on that side of the map. The only other position, oh, a little bit of information, flying drone goes up in the air. But the only other position that you can really push is onto Catwalk. At this stage, no one is in the position on Catwalk, but the information is slowly being fed by the Echo that is constantly going up and down. And I don't think they've noticed him yet.
It's like a trampoline. Boing. Boing.
Boing.
It just keeps going
Boing.
up, jumping up, having fun, having the time of his life right there, honestly. That is just such a fun position to play yourself in. But it's a useful one. Like you say, you're feeding all that information on towards the rooftop, knowing who's going to be up there. OCS making their entry on through very quick and interesting to see. No one's holding rafters. Considering you've got that Azami on the board, operators that you would normally see there, they've just left it. They've just ignored it. Instead, playing around on a bit of a backstab position here through stage, but blocked off by the Dom panel. You're going to rely on some support from the team above. Vertical impact grenade on towards the shot through stage. Cinema, nothing more to add.
The Aurora is an interesting pick as well. I can understand it because, of course, you can lock down the site, gain the control that you need.
Oh dear.
You can do that.
That's an option. Choice.
There's a lot of options, but at this stage, all that Can You Be My Enemy need to do is they just need to sit towards site. There is nothing that OCS can do at this stage without clearing that first floor. If they don't clear the first floor, plant is not available. The fuse is going to be down, which it is right now. They have so much utility to counteract it with the Thorn Charges, with the Smokes, with the Echoes, with the Solus at... I said that name wrong.
Solar.
I'm losing it, but without all of that presence, it's just completely useless.
By the time they realise the problem of the vertical, they've got no time to deal with it. They've just got to try and stick this defuse on down. But with the Echo drones above, why is it the Thatcher not covering them? He's got the EMPs. Look up, use them, shoot out the drones. The one down below is still on presence, so the Solace can deny any plant attempts. The attack left with no choice here but to just push on forward, try and stick it through, but immediately straight into the line of sight of the defense. BME yet again on the clock, on the pressure of OCS. They're just able to just mop them up as they walk on in. There's not really much more to add to it than just the same pitfalls. We keep going into them, and we go towards ban phase now, but there's not one clear factor here. That's kind of the problem, if you ask me, Tiaki. What do you get rid of if you're OCS?
Like a team. It feels like a team disadvantage at this stage. OCS are just not coordinated. Something's going wrong where they're trying to make these coordinated plays. For the most part, they're effective. Yes.
Yeah.
We've seen some sort of play that can be effective there, but the second that they try and execute it, they're not talking with each other. They're not making clearances. They're not covering territory down. The Clash and the Ying. The Ying, understandable. I get it. They've been using Ying non-stop. Makes a lot of sense for OCS. The Clash? Really?
Yeah, I mean, We've seen her a couple of times.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
She's been varying degrees of usefulness throughout the round, but like I say, you could ban the Echo, yeah, but then there's the Solace to play for the plant denial. Then you've also got the Clash. There's so many options here for BME to play around, and their flexibility has really been their strength inside of this one. They keep bringing different ways to slow OCS down. It's always the same rough game plan. We slow them down, we force them to push when they're not ready to because of that clock. But they're doing different ways of approaching it each time. Some rounds it's the Clash, other rounds it's the Echo, some rounds
10
it's the
seconds
Solace.
before insertion.
You can't ban them all, unfortunately. You have to play around some of them, and we're just going to see the continuation of it here towards the second quarter.
I get that Clash can be annoying. I get that her presence can really be problematic. Is she worth the ban for one site that we've seen her on? I don't think so, to be honest with you. The only other place, and the most common place where we see clashes being brought into play is Catwalk. They refused to do Catwalk. This is going to be a kill.
One way or the
Oh,
other.
it's so close. It is so close, but that Scopos, of course, is perfect for this top floor. Can just continue to put a bit of pressure in that position, go back and forth, delaying as much time as possible, and then when you think you're about to get caught, okay, my time to leave.
Bye-bye, I'm off. It's a really clever little way. She's boxed in right now. Gaspipe's going to buy her a couple of seconds. Retreating back in towards Logi. I think this might be the time, Tiaki, where she realises, yep, let's go. Let's leave it. They've done a really good job there, OCS, of applying the pressure on towards that Scopos. Got control of the top floor. Nice and easy. No losses, which is a positive for them. And more importantly, all of the defenders on the side of BME, they've relegated themselves down towards the basement side now. So you've got free reign over the map. Give them a couple of seconds to drone it out, realise that's true, make sure no one's ratting behind. You could then start to work on the vertical. You've got the double down, you've got the buck, you've got the sledge. There's options available to you here for the attack. An ideal start for them.
Have we cleared that Scopos?
I don't actually think they've killed it. No, it's still active, and she's teleporting. She's back up there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, she's back up there. They've just given a complete and utter control back on the top floor. Now we've got a roaming presence from
Oh dear.
Can You Be My Enemy? It's small mistakes like this are costing them round by round, and now the presence of that Scopos can most likely be felt within this round if they decide to use her back upstairs and try and find one or two picks and then just move straight back into the site. You need to be clearing the basic stuff out, and that's one of the things that OCS is just completely missing.
They don't know. I genuinely think they have no idea there's still a Scopos playing around upstairs. They do have one more logic bomb, which might buy them a bit of saving information, but you've got to be careful of it. Yoshiko's just going to continue to play from inside of Gym there. As the Bug applies pressure from Kitchen, you can just decide as to when and hop on down. And the Scopos, well, as your first teammate falls, now might be a prime time to go and spring into action. Yet again, it's that clock, Tiaki. It's that time factor. 15 seconds. OCS have to go.
Oh, this is just good. Look, drop coming. Oh. No drop coming through just yet. The information wasn't there, and that's an immediate pickup straight off the bat. They've got no motor control as the drop in is going to be made. No plant. What? What happened?
I don't know. I've tried to work out what of that was, obviously, because our observer's based in the UK. There's quite a bit of ping. I think a bit of that was ping issues, because we are on like 300 ping from the Japan servers. But also, what the hell just happened there? Did you all just seriously expect to hop in through the bar rotate and it work? Like, no. Just no. That doesn't work.
That's time. That's time as a factor.
Yeah,
once again.
That's it again.
It's just these decisions from OCS that they seem to know, they seem to understand, and then the second that they try to implement it, they realize we're out of time, and then they have to rush to complete it.
Yeah.
And by rushing, they're leaving so many options and abilities for the opposition team to make an impact. I just can't get over that Scopos, man. You know that the clearance has been made. You need to get that Scopos out of the position, even once you've cleared that top floor. If you don't, same thing's gonna happen.
We're very approaching danger English. We're very quickly approaching danger territory now.
Welcome to my life.
Oh, English is difficult. English is hard. It's a rubbish language. You've got an excuse, though, Tiaki. You've got an excuse today. I don't. I have nothing to say that's like other than just pure copium for being unable to speak. But we're approaching the danger territory of this game now. 4-0. BME rapidly spiraling away with this one. If OCS can recover 2 rounds here, good. That's what they need, because 4-2 split is not the end of the world. But anything worse than that, and I really start to get worried, especially with the momentum right now, because they've just not been close rounds. It's been that same mistake on repeat. And BME have done a masterful job. I've got to give them their credit. They're not letting anything slip right now. The standard they're playing is impeccable. It's really good from them.
And it just shows you the difference in the team makeup, right? OCS, team that mostly works off coordination. Yes, they've got the ability to clear up a few angles here and there, but for the most part, they are a team that works off strategy, that works off coordination. As a general whole, they may have a gun up, but we're not seeing him in this game. Can You Be My Enemy has both.
Yep.
Really has both. They can just do whatever and make the clearances that they need. Like, that doesn't need to be repeaked. They know this player's close. No.
There we go. But no, he's just ran in with the deagle and shot another one in the face. How is this army still alive? She's going for more. She's trying to find it. Ow! No, you can't be letting him get third there. You've got to be kidding me. 2v3 situation. OCS. Like, it was a bit rocky on Labs, but this just feels... I don't even know, Tiaki. This just is not up to what they can do. I know they're better than this. I saw them better than this an hour ago. Oh, my God.
I have no words. I have no words. Nothing here should be like that. Everything that they have done so far in Labs was perfect. It was good. It was passable. Just small changes needed to be made. I don't know what's happened when it's come down to, and I say this brutally, their map pick.
Yeah. This should be better.
What is going on?
This should be so much better than it has been from the side of OCS. I'm really starting to get concerned for them and the longevity inside of this series now. 15 seconds yet again. It's going to be the clock. You're just going to have to get aggressive. You're just going to have to try and push them through. But those castle barricades segmenting the attackers. Pop open the trip connectors just so your player with the defuse can get in towards the objective, just so he can make his presence known. They charge on through. It's JV left to go. At some point, you're going to have to stick this defuse on down. Is the cover going to be there? No, the cover drops to the floor. You bail off to the diffuser. BME will take it 5-0 in this one. Tiaki barreling towards a flawless finish here.
Why rush? I'm sorry. There are so many questions that I'm just constantly bringing up to myself in terms of the way that these guys are playing. There is certain etiquettes, I guess you can call it. You have site control. You know you can lock down the site.
Yep.
You don't need to go for a peek. Your peeking basically loses the round at the end there. You guys had the 2v1. Just hold and wait for them to come to you. Yes, they may have had impacts, but your player was still healthy enough to get that plant down, and the other player would have to move downstairs, of which you already had drones. So there's a lot of decision making that's going on here that's not really helping the team to kind of secure the presence that we saw from them in Nighthaven Labs. Going into this game, I mean, you said that there was like 100% prediction that OCS were going to be the more impactful squad. I don't see any of it.
It's 50-50 this time. This is certainly shift. BME have more of a fan favour. Last time there was 18% in favour, like you say. It was very much the fans thought OCS would have this, but 50-50 now. BME are making a name for themselves inside of this one. It's crazy stuff that we're seeing from them, and they've won this half regardless of how things go. You've got players on the side of OCS sitting on donuts at the moment. Koro Momo just continuing to just be a nuisance. 8-1, Duckov 8-1, JV 5-1. It's been dominance. It's been nothing short of dominance, and you just hope for OCS they can come out of this half bruised but not defeated, and maybe pull something back in the second, because right now it's looking a bit dire.
Well, they'll begin to open up a bit of the wall there. 5-0 is the scoreline, with already a minute going off the board. Once again, the drones just slowly being decayed away. This is looking a bit better coming in from OCS, and a bit more coordinated, which is exactly what we want to see from them. Information provided, they know the position, but the ace has been brought down by a shotgun of all things. Trade backs go left, right, and center. Duckov will drop the first double digits in the game, and no one can really stop this man or the rest of his team.
After round to play for now, OCS, you've got a position on Rafters, freebie on towards Koromomo, unexpected of it. Now you see the players inside of Red wanting to challenge you. A nice jump up from JV there, gets the pick back. 2v3 situation away into the final few players of OCS. And you've got that echo, you've got those smokes. There's so much here just to continue to waste down this clock. What does this attack do? You've got a Blackbeard, you can try and use him. But you've got two players left who haven't been having a great game so far. This is their opportunity to step up. This is theirs to really try and shape this one back around. You've got a player down below you can look to isolate. 55 seconds, it's time to do so. But you need to make a decision, you need to make it fast.
I think if you're going to just secure the round, you put your back onto Duckov and let him take control here. He should be able to just shoot the planter from underneath, and that should be able to secure the potential round. Nitro Cell, was that a Nitro Cell? It doesn't look like it. Maybe a nade going off as the planter will be attempted. Keep your eye on Duckov. He's got the information. That's all he needs. Never mind. It's JV who finds the kill. But now that plant, it can't be attempted. You've got echo drones. You've got the Solus playing underneath. There is no way that you can put this down. Instead, Duckov decides to get on the aggressive. But yeah, look, this is clinical, surgical, coming from, can you be my enemy? Could you be my, oh, can you be my enemy?
And I thought you were done with surgery for the day, Tiaki. I thought you were finished with it for the day. But we're getting to watch some now. 6-0, clinical from BME. You can't really ask for much more than that in a defensive half there. Just continuing to capitalise upon their opponent's mistakes, play around them and make sure they really struggled to get anything going. Sure, a couple of the rounds were closer than others, but ultimately, it doesn't matter how close the rounds are if you can't get them across the line. 6-0 scoreline, staring down now OCS. If they want to make a comeback in this series, if they want to take us all the way to Chalet, they're going to need a flawless half of their own. And I don't know, I'm not convinced. I think we might be able to get some rounds out of this one. I'd hope for we can. But equally, that momentum could also just carry us to a 7-0 finish.
I'll be honest, everything that I've seen here says 7-0. To me. Everything that I've seen in this game just says 7-0. As much as I want to and have a little bit of bias, because I already said that my prediction was I'm going to hope that can you be my enemy will win. As far as I'm concerned, just the way that OCS is playing is too many mistakes to allow for that first round to come back onto them. OCS, I think personally, picking this map was a bad decision out of the gate. Yes, you're comfortable as a team. Yes, can you be me is also comfortable. Can you be my enemy? Is also comfortable as a team on this map. Overall, what does that mean to me? Essentially, there is nothing that you can really do unless you're mechanically gifted with this map and your strategies are top of the top, the best of the best. There is nothing really available. And because of that, I think it's really backfired on OCS.
It does feel that way a little bit, doesn't it? How it's all just kind of come barreling away, and what should have been a kind of a good map for them, what should have been something they're comfortable on, it's now, we're at this point in time where we're kind of sitting here going, what do we do? A 7-0 finish lurking for them. I don't know, Tiaki, I'm not 100% convinced. Like you say, it's going to be a precarious round here to find ourselves in. The attack, going to be playing around the shields, going to be playing around the Ying. I think they just want to hit them hard, they just want to hit them fast, and if you're BME, get this done quickly as you can. Almost a wallbang there, got to be cautious of that.
Well, a little bit of movement back and forth as the clearance is being made on this top floor, and look how quickly they are going through and clearing it. All the angles are being watched, so any presence being made is being spotted and seen. Rotation coming through, cover being made by OCS, maybe feeling a little bit comfortable there. Darkov is starting to make his way up. He knows that that player is just going to be sitting close, but it's brilliant. Brilliant from Can You Be My Enemy. Perfect plays, except for this Legion. They're letting him almost run a little bit wild here. Need to bring him back in, and there we go. That's one down. There's one more player upstairs. By the way, I forgot to mention, guys, this bomb site is bottom floor.
Yeah, this is basement. This is the objective we're seeing right here. And interestingly, no one's been home on it for the last, I don't know, minute and a half of this round, the duration of it. But BME are just, you know, they're quite happy. They're just going to parade down the staircase. Oh, look, there's a Blackbeard there. And guess what? There's someone right behind him to mop up the pick, get the final kill. BME, can you be my enemy? How about can you be my nightmare? 7-0, statement finish to this series as they will close out the first round of Swiss in an incredibly comfortable fashion.
Oh, man. I honestly don't know what to say.
You know, man, it's...
Look, I'll start off by saying something nice and simple. Can you be my enemy?
Such good siege. That was a pretty quick one-sided one there, and I think it's now going to be that kind of situation where you sit, and I think back to the drawing board a little bit there for OCS. It's just an unfortunate one finished there for them, Tiaki, and it's just going to be this case of what reset. You go again tomorrow. Tomorrow there's 2 best of 3s to be played for each of these teams, right? Because APL structured a little differently to everyone else. You didn't have the games yesterday, so it's 2 games each day on the weekend. That Saturday, it's going to be brutal because if OCS can't get themselves together in time, they could be facing an early elimination tomorrow. They lose both their games. That's 3 games lost. That's all your lives burnt. You're knocked out Challenger Series. Not the kind of run you really want to be finding yourself with.
Yeah, look, it's a tough situation to be in for sure. And from what we saw in that game, back to the drawing board, straight off the bat. Everything needs to go back. There needs to be a remake of what strategies you're going to work with, how the team's going to operate with each other, and just essentially go through that as a general whole. Just looking at the rest of the bracket before we continue any further. It does look like we've had a few teams that have been able to successfully move forward. So EX, E36, again, these names, they're amazing to me. Is 7-0 on both games?
Yeah. They were played earlier, though. I'm not sure whether that's like a forfeit or whether there's like an issue with that one.
I see.
Because they were finished
like
before we started. They were finished before we started today.
I see.
And
then we've got another team up against Cryptid Esports, who is currently 1-0. I'm not going to try to say that name. You can try. Give it a go, Troy.
I actually googled it. It was. They do translate roughly to something, and I've forgotten what the translation was already. I do apologise. I wouldn't even know where to start with that one.
SOTS, I believe it is.
Yep, SOTS. Yeah, that was it. And then the other one was I actually googled them on Twitter. It should be in my Twitter history, shouldn't it? Nope, it's not my Twitter.
Anyway,
history.
continuing down as
Down the
we
bracket.
keep going through. Astral R6 are currently 1-0 over Aegis. Father's back. His father's back. Is currently 1-0 up against.
that team,
I'm not
mate.
even going to try to say that.
That was an overtime game. That was a banger. Vitae, I believe it is.
Vitae? R6 is currently 2-0. They've been able to secure it through. That looks like it's admin
that
completed
was a
as well.
forfeit,
So
yeah.
forfeit. And then, of course, Can You Be My Enemy? Beating OCS.
It's been good rounds. It's been a solid. I mean, the way Swiss always tends to start is Swiss is always a little bit quicker in the first couple of rounds, just because you've got that wild seeding. And as we kind of progress through with the brackets, winners will play winners, losers will play losers. So, for example, today OCS, they're going to play another losing team from today. So one of the other teams that have been knocked down, they'll play against them. And equally so for Can You Be My Enemy? In theory, the game gets tougher for them, right, Tiaki? Because they're now going to have to play another opponent on themselves.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a tough one regardless of how it goes. And of course, where your position is within the bracket will be found a lot quicker. You can have some unlucky games. I have seen some teams go up against the best and then immediately the next game is unfortunately one of the teams that ended up losing two teams that were the best in the league. Coming down to where you are, and then you lose that game, and then the exact same thing happens again. So it's a nice little system that they've got there, the Swiss stage as well, where at least you'll get one team that you should be able to put up some numbers for.
Hopefully can do. Really hopefully can do. As for us today on North, that is going to be all from us, unfortunately. Tiaki, as always, it's a pleasure to have you on the stream. I think you would need some much-needed rest. I think after that one, you certainly do deserve it. But ready for tomorrow, because the competition, it doesn't stop this yet early, does it?
No. Tomorrow we've got games starting from 3 p.m. and a second round starting from... Someone clip that. Starting round from 5 p.m.
No, not another bitch gift. No.
Well, regardless, we have a lot of games coming on tomorrow. So, Travi, I'll leave you to it. Catch you later, my friend.
See you later, Tiaki. And as for all you folks at home, we will be back live in 6 hours' time with the continuation of EML Swiss stage. Don't miss it. It's going to be a banger. That'll be me and Golu on this channel, and Tiaki will be live with the remaining games from APL tomorrow. It's going to be a great weekend for Siege, so hope you all enjoyed it, and we will catch you all for the next one. As for now, though, take care and have a wonderful rest of your day.